join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. You may be seated. All right. And we start with recognizing triathlon. Come on up. Okay. I'm impressed that you went full makeup. This is pretty cool.
It was their first dress
Yeah,
rehearsal.
this is our first makeup day, so
Yeah.
it might look a little different later, but.
Very impressive, very cool.
Brenda McLean and I are co-directing Alice at Wonderland this year. This is kind of a modern take on Alice in Wonderland. So Alice has a cell phone, for example, talks about Google. So a little bit of a modern twist, but we still get to see the storyline, what we're used to, in a sense. And so this evening we have some of the characters with us. Brenda and I have had a great time working with the kids. It's been a lot of fun. We've had fun with them. They've had fun with us. So I'm going to let the kids talk about their character and then share with you maybe something that they've enjoyed thus far, or maybe give you something to look forward to. So
How about you say what your real name is first?
yeah, really first.
I know who you are.
Yeah.
My name is Sophie Beeler. I play the White Rabbit. What was the rest?
So tell us something that you've enjoyed about the show.
I really enjoy putting on the makeup and getting to work with our directors. They're really sweet people, really awesome at giving us directions and telling us where to go. I quite enjoy getting to memorize lines and go by the script and just embrace my characters and work with all my amazing co-actors and actresses.
I'm Alexander Lockhart. I'm the Queen of Hearts, if you can tell. One thing that I really like about this show, and honestly just theater in general, is getting into the character. It's okay. It's really fun to be able to just become a whole different person for a little bit. It just is, and it's and a lot of my friends are also in theater, and I've made a lot of friends through theater. It's just a really, it's like a community. It's great.
Hi, I'm Daniel Yoakum, and I play the Mad Hatter. My favorite thing about probably all the plays and musicals that we do is just seeing how far we come at the end and watching everything go together and fit as one big puzzle. And this is my senior year, so this is my last play, and I think this is a really good one to go out with.
I am Molly Leslie. I play Alice. I really enjoyed doing this production in particular because Alice is different from how she is in most other versions of the story. Whenever our directors are picking a play, they often pick something that either nobody has heard about or it isn't very popularized, and I really enjoy that because you get to completely create your character based off what you think they are like, and you get to just completely become this different person. It's amazing to have the opportunity to with our auditorium.
Hi, I'm Alex Porterfield and I play the March Hare. My favorite thing about theater is just getting to watch everybody get better at their respective things, getting to see how everybody can and will improve over the course of a 3-month long production cycle.
It's August.
Yeah. And it's all just amazing, and I love it all. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jesse Smith. A lot of you already know me. I portray a chorus member, tiny door, and a guard, and I really admire how theater allows us the opportunities to create lasting memories, doing what we all love, and it offers us plentiful connections between many people who share the same interests as us, and that's something that's pretty beautiful.
A pretty neat thing about this particular cast is that we had a lot of 8th graders, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors that we haven't had in the past come and audition. So a lot of the kids are new to our group, and I feel like the kids that have been in this as a veteran have been very good at accepting everybody and welcoming everybody and helping each other. It's a great way to see the kids really work together. A lot of times Brenda and I, yes, we give them suggestions, but they take it to the next level. So that's what our goal is. We don't always want to be the ones to tell them, hey, you need to stand here, you need to act like this. We usually let them kind of portray their character in their own way. We'll give them a couple of hints, but it's been great to work with the kids. It's a lot of fun. It makes it fun for us. So if you're interested, the show is Friday night, Saturday night at 7 o'clock in the auditorium. So we hope to see you there.
Thank you for coming tonight. We're really excited. I was in theater back in the day, like when you guys, never mind, at decades ago. But it was the best time. It's just the best time. And I get it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right then, moving on. And feel free to leave. You guys do not have to sit through this meeting, I promise. Thank you. Okay, next we have the funds report. We'll start with the education fund. The current cash balance in the education fund is $326,839.53. We're still in the black. Okay, debt services, $1,841,135.69. Again, looking good. And the operations fund. Okay, when that's in parentheses, that doesn't mean we're behind, does it? It does. That is just sad, because I didn't want to do that. But we are running in the black on the operations fund, currently in the red. I know it, that's what I meant. I told you the words don't come right. All right. The current cash balance is a negative $310,609.05. I think generally by the end of the year we move some funds.
No. So
or we're expecting a disbursement.
Correct, our disbursement will come in December.
Okay.
So
Well, wasn't there, I thought Shada said there was going to be one more transfer.
there will be one more transfer in the month of December. This is a
Oh.
3-pay month, so we will make a transfer in December as well.
I gotcha.
Yep.
Any questions about the funds report? If, any questions from the community? If not, I would accept a motion that we approve the funds report as read.
So moved.
Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, Mark. All those in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries 6-0. Next, we have the consent agenda, and that includes the minutes from the October.
Claims and payroll for.
It's on here, you're right, it is on here. Claims and payroll, thank you, let's not miss that.
I'm sure somebody wants to get paid.
Yeah, they probably would like that. Okay, claims and payroll. Right now the claims are at $1,109,163.26. And the approved payroll is $946,041.27. Not unexpected, y'all want to get paid, so any questions at this time, claims and payroll? If not, if someone would like to make a motion, I'd be glad to hear it.
So moved.
Thank you, Casey.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you, Ethan. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries 6-0. Consent items, we have the board minutes from 10/21/24 for our regular meeting. We have another minutes from 11/1/24, and that was a regular meeting. The third one is from 11/4/24. We did a short regular meeting prior to our study session, and then we had the study session after that on the same day, 11/4/24, and followed by a brief executive session. Anybody have any updates or corrections to the minutes as presented? If everybody's good, accept that motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Casey
Second.
and Ethan. All those in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries 6-0. The first reading of a nice pile of new policies. We discussed these at length in the study session, and Jenny, the guru of all things policy, did a nice job explaining those. Casey and Stephen and I are also on that committee, and I would say 98% of those are technical corrections and just little bitty things we have to fix.
I do have them pulled up if anybody has any questions or would like to go through them again.
Anybody want to go through the
First reading.
first reading? Okay. Any questions or comments from the community? Deer in the headlights, that's what I see. Okay, it's okay. If you want to, if you're ever having trouble falling asleep, you can go read through the policy manual. That's a nice 5,000-page document. Okay, so board members, I would accept a motion that we don't have to move. Never mind, no vote on that one. Moving on. E, approval of the RCTA contract.
Oh, we got a second reading.
Oh yeah, what?
Policies, there's one policy with a second reading.
That's, I know.
Just
Okay, we had one other policy on there.
It's the second reading of policy 6013.
Yep, and this will be voted on at our next meeting.
And anybody has a question about that, I can pull it up and read it. Just super curious, it's 6013.
Trying to think that was somebody's phone number when I was a kid, but I can't put it on it. All right. Mark, wasn't that your family's? Never mind. He lived next door to me when I was a kid. Never mind. All right, so we won't move forward on any more of those. Now we're ready for the approval of the RCTA contract for 24-25 school year.
Sure. So Mrs. Keller helped lead that, and I know Mr. Gard is here and was part of that discussion as well. So I'll just go through, I know we spoke about it at the study session. I'll try to go through and highlight just key points in that, not everything in detail. To begin with, the opening of the bargaining unit, the definition, which was agreed upon both by RCTA and the district, and Irv has given us the thumbs up on that. I know Jen and Hope and I worked on that a couple of different times, and we've got the thumbs up on that. The working definition for teaching years as it pertains to retirement and also rungs on the ladder. We will be using the definition that MPERS gives us, which can be lengthy at best. New teachers coming on board into the district, their years of experience will align with our teachers, and then upon going through negotiations and moving forward. They would move when our teachers move on those rungs of ladder. So I've talked to the principals about that and help them understand how that will be utilized in the hiring process. We defined the hourly rate for teachers based on the contract amount divided by the 185 days worked, and then 7.5 hours contracted for each day. We showed where health insurance rates went down, which was great work by everybody, and I sent out an email this afternoon in regards to wellness and prevention and how we may be one of the few that I know of where health insurance rates actually went down, and that is because of everything that the district is doing collaboratively and as a whole to bring those costs down. So thank you for that. We also went through and defined sick bank versus the leave bank and how teachers can utilize those leave banks upon retirement for money per day, as well as any days over 150 days that they gain, that money will be paid to the teachers, and then that will bring their amount back down to the 150, but it puts a value on that for those teachers. So Jen, as the head of leading that, do you have anything that you would like to share?
I just, I really appreciated how well our meetings went.
Thank you.
I think together we were able to come up with a good contract for our teachers.
Thank you
for that.
This would be retro pay on the December 13th pay. We're already into the next pay cycle, so December 13th, teachers can anticipate seeing that retro pay come on board, and hopefully by then we will also have the TAG grant money from the state as well. We will continue to communicate with our CTA in regards to when those TAG funds arrive, but we're anticipating them right about that time as well.
Sounds good. It was a good process, and didn't take long. I mean,
No.
it was nice to be able to work through that in a very efficient manner. Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions from the audience? If not, I will approve, or I will accept a motion.
So moved. Second.
Yeah, that we approve the RCTA contract for this year. Raise your right hand. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you all. Next, we have the donations report.
Do we, I'm sorry, I'm sitting here thinking in my head, don't we need to approve a resolution or something for the TAG grants, or was that the policy we already did earlier this year?
We did that, and so with that, the policy states that when the funds arrive in the district, we have a certain amount of days for turnaround time for that. So by approving that policy, I will send that out in my weekly notes to the board that the funds have arrived, and I will communicate with Mrs. Showling and Mrs. Keller in regards to the pay date that can be expected when we can turn that back around. But by approving that policy, we can release those funds when they come in. But thank you.
I was thinking we did, I just was sitting here thinking we've only got one more meeting for the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I thought, I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Yep, we're on track. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay, moving on to donations. We have a $1,500 donation to Riddle Elementary for one school, one book from an anonymous donor. We have a $100 donation to Rochester Middle School for the school donation program from Schweitzer Engineering. Another for RMS, $2,000 for Stacy's Closet at the school from the Stacy Carvey Shane Halls Foundation. Thank you, Lewis and family. Lewis.
I know who you meant. You're very
Lucas.
welcome.
We've met one time.
I'm glad you said something, because I was thinking, who's Lucas?
There you go. That's where you were going. Okay. RHS Food Service, $200 approximate value for a Lem Mite Bite tabletop slicer from Lisa Townsend. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds really slick.
It's a little cabinet-sized slicer.
Okay, good.
Lem is a high dollar.
It's a high dollar brand.
Meat processing.
Got it.
Branding.
That's awesome. RHS Choir, $50 for the choir from Doug and Jenny Smith. So we thank all of our donors. It makes a huge difference around here, and getting those things up and going and keeping moving us forward all the time. So we appreciate all the donors in the district. If anyone has any questions or concerns about the donations, I will accept that.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 6-0. You're killing me, guys. Okay, that's all right. And moving on to the personnel report for Columbia Elementary. Chelsea Smith, preschool instructional assistant at an hourly rate of $14. Kristen Dillingham, preschool to developmental delay preschool, hourly rate of $14. Columbia Elementary ECA, Sydney Gudeman, Zebra Zone, stipend of $720. Jamie Johnson, dyslexia, stipend of $3,000. Brenda McLean, high ability, stipend of $2,500. Jill Weaver, music program, stipend of $720. RMS athletic recommendations. Bryce Roberts, RMS wrestling head coach, stipend $1,488. I apologize for that. JD Howard, RMS wrestling assistant coach, stipend $1,140. Bryn Wilson, RMS head cheer coach, stipend $993. RMS athletic resignations. Allison Handy, RMS head cheer coach, effective November 18th, 2024. RMS athletic recommendations. Gavin McKee, volunteer for varsity wrestling program. Brandon Camp, volunteer for varsity basketball program, assistant with the C team. RHS athletic resignations. Alex Gudeman, head cross-country coach and assistant track and field, effective October 28th, 2024. Mason Hyden, boys tennis program, effective October 25th, 2024. Special services. Peggy Johnson, part-time custodian at the Learning Center, hourly rate $14. Brandy Maple, special education instructional assistant at RHS, hourly rate $14. Corporation Food Service. Carolina Lira, food service assistant sub, hourly rate $13. Retirement. Jill Weaver as the general music teacher at Columbia and Riddle, effective December 20th, 2024. FMLA. Sky Robinson, maternity leave approximately January 17th, 2025 through March 28th, 2025. Termination. Brandy Maple, RHS Special Education IA, as of November 11th, 2024. Question or comments about the personnel report?
Wouldn't those two just cancel each other out?
Well, they do, but in order for us to pay for the days that she was in the district, we have to have that approval for the auditors to match the rate with the
Gotcha.
payroll.
Makes sense.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
On the Krista Dillingham, $14 an hour, I believe she makes just a little bit more than that because she's transferring, she's not a new hire, and she's been in the corporation for several years. So I'll get with Kathy Adams tomorrow and make sure that her hourly rate is correct. I don't believe it's 14.
Okay, so do we just need to pull her out and vote on her next time when we have a correction?
We can bring the correction next time.
Yeah.
So we leave her out at this point or not? Or just make the correction next month?
Could we just do it
Okay.
at her current rate, hourly rate at her current rate? Because her rate's not changing, it's what she's currently making.
Got it, thank you.
I don't know if that would work for you guys, but that's.
There's two young men that were signed up for volunteer. I think they also need to be RHS volunteers.
It should have been RHS.
And that was who?
Gavin McKee.
Gavin McKee?
Brandon Camp.
It's, okay.
Oh, that ended up under.
They may also volunteer at RMS. I don't know that for sure.
The description does say varsity, so.
Okay.
Yeah, that would make sense. I don't know why I didn't pick up on that. Okay, thank you, Oscar. Will, anything else? Those are not my errors, just so you know. They're mine.
Keep it score.
Katie's like, I did not do that.
I'll know what I do, but I'm not going to do it. Okay. So with that, I would accept a motion that we approve the personnel report as amended. Mark and
I second.
Ethan, got it. All those in favor, raise your right hand. The motion carries 6-0. Mrs. Vance.
So we'll go through and do directors and principals report. Lucas, if you wouldn't mind starting by sharing what's going on with special services?
Special services were partly into PSYOP training, and that is training for staff on how to reach our ELL kiddos, our kiddos who do not speak English as their first language. We are almost done with training our crisis teams in CPI. We'll be done at the end of December on that. And then little trainings throughout now in December on some changes on how corporation special ed teachers will write IEPs after meeting with the co-op and other directors and the co-op lawyer on some things that she sees coming down the pipeline and changes that need to be made so that we are staying on the right side of legal.
Thank you. That's a good place to be.
It is.
Mrs. Murphy?
Since the last time we were here, we did have that Halloween dance. It was a success. The haunted locker room was the line the whole time. So it was great. Boys basketball has started for 6th through 8th. 7th and 8th have their first game tomorrow. We did a Veterans Day lunch on November 7th. That was always a good time. We had lots of people come. Josh and his crew made some pies. It was great. Good time for everybody. We recently just took our 5th grade math second opportunity. So with this new pilot for iLearn, the checkpoint one, after each checkpoint there's a second opportunity. So I just wanted to brag on them for a little bit because after that second opportunity they are at 85% passing. Language Arts is going to do their second opportunity starting tomorrow. They're doing it over 3 days, and then 6th and 7th grade are doing theirs next week. So I'll have more numbers to come, but even with the first time, we were all above state average. So my teachers are doing a great job using their homeroom time and class time very wisely, doing remediation and just doing good work. So good for them. And students are working very hard too. We're praising them for that. Let's see. Coming up, we will be going to get our miracle tree. Families and our student council will go shopping and wrap and take on that challenge, which is always fun to watch them do that and help them with that. iLearn Checkpoint 2 will be in December, so we'll start that. And then our annual etiquette lunch is on the 19th, and then our PBIS day on the 20th. Any questions?
Etiquette day is when?
The 19th. Yeah, you will all, if you didn't get an email.
No, I got it. I thought it was
Okay.
the 6th.
Yeah, that's when you.
That's probably the RSVP date.
Okay, well, I can.
You can come to 6 and have lunch.
No.
Come by though.
That's if you go to his building.
Oscar will buy. All right, so things we've had kind of happening at the high school. We've been in a build the new Santa house project. We almost have that wrapped up. If you've been following along on the social media site, it's come a long way. We got all of our winter sports underway. We gave the PSAT to all 9th through 11th graders. Thank you, Fair Board and the fairgrounds for letting us use their tables. We tested everybody in the oxygen. What was funny is if you've ever been to the oxygen, most of the time you'd say it's always hot. When we did our survey of what the biggest concern was, it was too cold for the students in there, so that caught us off guard. Life Skills started their snack cart up again, which the staff appreciates. We had our marching band showcase, which was an awesome night. We did our JAG initiation ceremony. I think 42 kids got initiated into the JAG program that night. Mr. Young took the kids to the Golden Shovel competition. I want to say 9, but for some reason 13 is kind of in my head. How many schools are represented there with teams using the heavy equipment. It was a pretty cool experience. One of the neat things is I ran into Sean Rose that used to work for us. So it was kind of neat to catch up with him while I was there. Small world. We had students reading about their family members on the announcements for Veterans Day. We have Taekwondo being taught in our PE and adaptive PE classes. That's kind of been a hit, especially in our adaptive class. If you want to smile, come check that out. Second hour, it's pretty cute. Manitals performed with the first graders at Jason's building. Coach Wilson hosted the first IHSA sponsored girls wrestling event last Wednesday. It lasted a whopping 17 minutes because there were 7 first period pins. That's how girls wrestling works. We have that first big tournament that we host for the IHSA coming up this Saturday, so Coach Wilson has them ready to roll. Coach Brown kicks off her swim season this week tomorrow. Coach Malco and the boys start with their scrimmage Saturday at Oak Hill, and Coach Burrs is off to a 3-1 start, and TRC play starts this week. And then the boys wrestling also start Friday. Coming up, we do have the play. It's going to be interesting. It's on Friday and Saturday. Friday night, we have wrestling about a half hour before, so we'll see. And then Saturday, we also have girls basketball at the same time. We got a game plan in place for that to keep all that organized and keep that running smoothly. So we're excited about all the opportunities that we're giving all of our students with all of their interest at the high school. Thanksgiving's coming up. We're kind of excited about that. 12 Days of Taste Temptation starts after that for the high school. If you are hungry, swing by. Every day from December 2nd on, we'll have something to snack on in the lounge. We have a jazz band concert December 16th, choir concert the 17th, and then we have a regular band concert on the 19th of December. Then we will have final exams. The students are really excited about those. Guidance is really close to having our new master schedule done for next year, so I can't wait to bring that and talk to you guys about that. The State Board of Education will be voting on new diploma requirements on December 13th. Next week, Monday and Tuesday, I go down to Indy for a lot of meetings to make sure that we have a really good grasp on that as we are tweaking that new master schedule. I want to give a thank you to Kistler for some of the harmony concerns as we've started to work on next year's master schedule, and for getting the PSAT Wi-Fi points, I don't know what you actually call them, set up in the Aux Gym for us. He and his crew did a great job. Meg McLaughlin has been priceless when it comes to district testing, whether it was the iLearn or with that PSAT, and she got us invited to a pretty neat meeting on Thursday for SAT, so I'm kind of excited about what we're going to learn there. I do want to give Logan Young a huge shout out. We brought him from the private sector. He's kind of taken the bull by the horns and ran with it, going to the Golden Shovel. We got a guy that's working with him on our CNC stuff. They got those machines up and running, so we're excited about that. And he's done the Santa house, and we've got about 3 other sheds for athletics that he and the kids are going to begin to work on once Santa's house is wrapped up. So we've really put him to work. He's done a great job with all that. And I've seen Jill Weaver's retiring. I just want to give her a shout out and a thank you, because when I was a newbie and took Mr. Martinez's place when he retired, I drove an hour plus for about 2 months, and then she saved the day by renting me a house. So Jill and Tom are priceless people, and appreciate everything Jill's done for us and the corporation and me personally. Questions? Got a lot of great things going on. I appreciate your support as we make those decisions.
Mr. Burnett.
Continuing on, we also had a Veterans Day lunch. I want to give a shout out to Wendy and her cafeteria crew. Had compliments that it was the best Veterans Day lunch ever, and they wanted to give a shout out to you and your crew specifically. So thank you for all of that hard work, and I know you planned special meals for that day, and it was really appreciated. We had tons of veterans in. It's really neat to see that. Riddle is having our book fair this week, so I want to give a shout out to our librarian, Mrs. Thomas, for putting that on, a tremendous amount of work. So all the kids will have an opportunity to go during class this week, and we have our family night from 4 to 6 on Thursday, so anybody that wants to come in and purchase some books that can do that then. And that's also our special area for our showcase, so music and gym and the art teacher are there too in the cafeteria to display what they've got going on in their classrooms. They actually last year had examples of things they did. I know Mrs. Walkman had like a little mini golf course you could do, and we had the art teacher had her display up and things. Pretty neat. I also want to give a shout out to Mrs. Weaver, 43 years of service to our district, so that's amazing. Her last concert for Riddle, and I think this may be the last concert for her career here, would be 4th grade on December 12th. So if you're interested in attending that, but we know what Jill and her family means to the corporation. I have to echo what Mr. Haas said as far as Tom as well, and they do a tremendous amount behind the scenes, kind of unspoken, to help people out. And as Mrs. Murphy said, we also have our iLearn Checkpoint 2 coming up and midterms on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yep. Midterms.
Good call, Bernanke.
Midterms.
Carry it.
Yeah.
Midterms on Wednesday. We've also got a lot happened over the last couple of weeks. Kindergarten and first grade went to Honeywell Center and watched Don't Let the Pigeons Drive the Bus. Very good story. Kids did great. The teachers did fantastic. It was a really good trip, and I really enjoyed it. The kids really get, and this was put on through a donation from an anonymous donor, and we couldn't go last year because the tickets sold out so quick, and we hadn't secured funding at that point, so we just held off until this year. We were able to take both of our grade levels. Real good opportunity for them to get in and see some theater and enjoy that. We also had our Veterans Day concert a couple days, or a little over a week ago. Mrs. Weaver, to echo what everybody else has already said, does a fantastic job with those. She'll be greatly missed, and we certainly appreciate her 43 years of service. Our Veterans Day lunch was a big success as well. We had over 60 veterans show up, and I want to thank Natalie. She does a really good job of managing that, her and Melissa, doing all the background checks, getting everything prepared, scheduling, getting the kids ready. There's a lot of work there. The cafeteria does a great job as well. They always create a really good meal for us, and the veterans really enjoy that. And Mr. Haas sent over or approved for a couple of girls to come over and from, I believe it was their yearbook staff, to take pictures for us. So we were able to get pictures of all the veterans and the students together. We got those, made copies of those, and were able to hand those back out to the kids, and they were really excited to get those. And the veterans were also very excited to just come in. Great opportunity for them, and talking with them. Ours was towards the end of the week. Some of them had been to some of the other buildings, and it's just a real meaningful experience for them and the students to be able to have lunch like that and to be recognized. So I appreciate all the other schools
Jason, I want to
participating.
interject. That program that they do at Columbia to honor the veterans is amazing. And, you know, I've sat through a whole lot of elementary school concerts in my day, and that was the first one to bring me to tears.
Sure.
Just a really meaningful, wonderful celebration.
And that's all Jill's doing, and the kids and their hard work, and the teachers are very supportive during that time. We have to move our schedules around and do a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to get that done, but thank you, because I agree, it's a very, very special program. We took our Zebra Zone kids to Elemental Art Studio about a week ago, and that was really a good time with those kids. I want to mention something that our staff's doing, data meetings. Something that over the summer, Megan McLaughlin held some training for our teachers. Our CIA coaches are actually leading those. They did a book study over the summer. So a big shout out to them for the time they put into that. But now we're into those data meetings. We're looking at data from the beginning of the year, using that to make decisions as we move forward throughout the year. And that's going really well. And I want to thank Megan for heading that up. One other thing, we've got another book study going on. Alicia Helt is hosting, or leading, I should say, a book study in our building for our quite a few staff members actually. And they're doing a book study on a book called The Anxious Generation. If you haven't heard of it or seen it, might be something worth reading. And our staff that are participating in that are really enjoying that as well. A couple of things we've got coming up. Our preschool, all-day pre-K is going to the Elemental Art Studio on the 5th of December, and they're taking and just rotating classes out there, so that's going to be a good time for them as well. We have a kindergarten concert on the 5th of December, and Chrissy Flynn will be taking her students to the Times Theater on the 12th of December. So That's what we got going on.
Thank you. Mrs. Bowers?
So with our Kiwanis this year, Amanda and we did a very, very good job with the turkeys. We normally don't do the turkeys. Townsend usually does it. So she kept the regular lunch going in addition to cooking 550 pounds of turkey before they walked in the door at 1:30. Most of these staff that come over that do the catering at the high school, sometimes you're looking at anywhere from a 10 to a 14-hour shift depending on how they break out. She's lucky if she gets a 30-minute break in between going from one classification to the other. But we normally have anywhere from 2 to 3 different schools that participate in the catering. This year we had 3 of the 4 schools have staff that come over and helped with that catering. We also had the Veterans Dinner, and this year we were able to get for 2 of the locations Indiana sourced ham straight from the farm to the table, and that made a huge difference in as far as the flavor and how amazing everything looked. And again, the high school doesn't always do as big of a veterans dinner. So Amanda, you might have seen her floating around to the middle school. You might have seen her floating around to Riddle, so that way she could get that experience and help if they needed to help do that also. We got pumpkins from Indiana sourced. All 4 locations had them. All 4 locations gave them away. Josh Weant was able to actually go and paint for the high school, for Riddle, and for middle school, and they were all given away to students. I did get some of those photos finally to me, so I can give them to Brenda Gertie if you'd like, so those could be uploaded. And we also have some veterans photos, at least from Riddle, as far as how the display looked and how it was set out. Our annual financial review is done out of my hands. It's setting with the state, so between December and January, I hope for them to process it and say that it's good to go. And then our verification, we just got the last response in, so we got 100% response rate, which is awesome. That then will go to the state for me to process either next month or in January. Other than that, I think we're just looking forward to break, just a little bit of a break.
Thank you for the amazing things you're doing.
You're welcome.
Hey, Wendy, that farm to table thing, we did a enrichment fall festival over fall break, and the food that was prepared over at Riddle was that farm to table hamburger. And those were the best burgers that we've, I mean, that's I don't know a lot about that program, but that was really good, good food.
We are getting hamburgers in, they're cooking them fresh across the district, and if they're not coming in pre-pattied from that, then we're patting them ourselves.
It was nothing like the, the frozen ones, and not that those were bad, but I mean, that was a significant, very, very good meal.
Linda
So,
Turtipseed at
thank you.
Riddle came in and said, a teacher stopped me and said, oh my God, it smells amazing. What are you doing? She said, frying hamburgers. We also got some local Indiana sourced turkey that they're going to be using coming up in December that we haven't used yet. So I hope it's just as good as the ham was.
Well, good job on that.
Thank you.
Mr. Bowers?
We're doing our leaf cleanup, ending up the mowing, thank God. It's over. Now we're getting ready to hopefully deal with the inch of snow that's coming this week. But we are prepared. Yeah, we've already tested out all our equipment. Everything's good to go, so we should be in good shape.
Just very quickly, I would like to share, we heard a lot of kudos for Mrs. Weaver, and we will be having her retirement party immediately prior to our board meeting in December. So we'll be working with her and sending out invitations to the community and to the district. I'd like to give thank you to Mrs. Miller, Ms. Ruth Gunter, Mr. Jim Shalley, and Mr. Mark Smith. We have been meeting in regards to the alumni recognition programs and are getting ready to release that information. So ask the community to be looking for that yet this week. Nominations will be due after the first of the year, so plenty of time to consider each of those areas for nomination and who they would like to nominate. And we anticipate recognizing our first group of Alumni Achievement Award winners in June of 2025. So appreciative of the time that they have spent working on that and looking forward to that release in 2025. Our next meeting will be our study session where we'll do a walkthrough of Riddle School. So I'll work with Mr. Bernacki and highlight some of the achievements there and goals we've been working towards. And to everybody, please enjoy the holidays. I know that it's just such a special time with family and friends, so take the time to enjoy that and be appreciative for all that we have. So thank you.
Anything else?
That's all I have.
With that, I'd accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you all. Have a great evening. Much love.